Cool. So that was Polar Rifle.
Yes.
You want to do another build or another matchup?
Yes, please. I think Orc against Orc, I feel like is all over the place for me right now. I usually go Blade Master into Tower in there.
BMTC.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes BM Shadowhunter. But I feel like Headhunters are very good in that matchup, so I feel like the aura from Tauren is very nice.
You're not wrong.
But I guess from the sound of your voice or your reaction that probably BM into Shadowhunter is better.
How did you know?
No, it was you were like, wow, you know.
I thought I was so stoic.
No, I could pick up a little bit there. Yeah.
You're good. You're good with people. I see.
So what's the argument there?
Remember, you were getting out microed yesterday, and I said Shadow 1 often out micros TC1.
Oh yeah. That was one of many games I got out micro then.
The value of hex at level 1, 4 hexes or 2 shockwaves,
right,
is immeasurable.
Yeah.
TC is the hero you want. It's the man they want to be with. Shadow is what they get.
So when they say we have TC at home, it's actually a Shadow.
Yeah. Wait, the other way around?
Oh wait, yeah, the other way around. Okay, so
TC, if you got away with TC, pick Aura first and you power creep him to level 3, you're probably in a great spot.
Right.
However, you should not be allowed to get away with that. Orc is a constant arms race where you number check, skill check, and creep check each other to keep each other honest.
Okay.
You could, of course, have 2 players that go AFK and farm, and if that's the case, and you have that read, then TC second, sure, let's go ahead. Then we have enough time to buy Invulnerability Potion. We have a TC3 with Aura, high-level Shockwave or Ward Stomp. Even if he has a Hex, we're fine. We have a Ring of Protection already from creeps. We already have Invulnerability Potion. But realistically, that's not usually how it plays out.
Yeah.
Orc Mirror is a matchup where there are a lot of game-ending cheeses. Very, very effective. You could prepare some of those for the tournament as well.
For sure. But
while we're learning standard and we're learning how to defend against cheeses instead, TC won't do a good job of doing that.
So my go-to for the time being should be Blade Master into Shadow.
Yes, or Farseer into
TC? Question mark?
Yes. Farseer into TC or Farseer into Panda.
So Panda is good in Orc Mirror as well.
Yes, if someone is spamming Headhunters, similar concept with Rifle, Drunken Age Fire Breath combo is fantastic, and they have much less health before tier 3 upgrade than Rifles, and even after tier 3 upgrade, still less health than Rifles.
Yeah, I mean, like I've played against Panda a few times now, and it always felt strong, and now I've played with Panda, and it feels pretty strong. So I think I might try to incorporate Panda a little bit more into like just my general approach.
He's quite good. The downside is he doesn't have that 0 mana value that Tauren Chieftain has.
Right. Okay, yeah, I would then try some more Panda mixed into my Orc, because I play against a lot of Headhunters in Orc, but meta in Orc, always Spirit Walkers. I've been told, add Spirit Walkers.
Not necessarily. There are 2 major thought schools. You will need to make a decision what your opening hero is, and those are 2 separate thought schools that have very different play styles. I will go ahead and say from the start that Blade has a higher ceiling, but a much higher floor of skill requirement. Farseer is more cheesy, but much easier to play. Still has some macro follow-up as well. You can play it in a macro way, especially at this level. It's easier, therefore possibly enduringly more effective, even over the next 2 weeks.
Makes sense.
Blade is the high-level choice. It can also work here in the high-level way with Windwalk, or in a lower-level, easier-to-perform way with Mirror Image.
I have been mostly playing the last 2 days, I would say, in Orc, Blade Master with Windwalk.
Okay.
It doesn't work that well, I feel like.
No, it doesn't. It's the hardest.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like with Windwalk, the decision making of how to spend or use your hero, and obviously mana spendage is so important, and I don't feel like I'm knowledgeable enough to know how to spend that correctly.
Yep, I can help you with that, or we can switch to Image, or we can switch to Farseer.
I think I would switch to Image initially, because I still like the way like the Blade Master feels as the game goes on in Orc Mirror.
Okay. With Image first, you will also cross-learn skills that will be applicable in Orc versus Night Elf.
Okay.
Because Orc versus Orc with Blade Image plays out similarly to Orc versus Elf, so there'll be some cross-skill. You will creep 1 camp with Image as an opener, and then it diverges based on what they do. There's going to be a lot of if-thens.
Okay.
If then, if then, if then, loads.
But is
So you could
mirror
do a
then very useful
farseer.
for scouting as well to like see the ifs?
Yes, there are a couple of tricky things with mirror image. Let me just put up a game and kind of talk over that.
Sure. What are
Got
these?
some ads for you. Got some ads for you.
What is this?
I don't know. I have 115 versions of Hammerfall, and apparently, this is one of them.
Oh yeah, I remember they started doing that on StarCraft 2, where they put like sponsor things on the edges of the maps.
Can you imagine what the contracts look like? You've got all this like
Yeah.
lawyer speak talking about raids and license fees and prize money.
Yeah.
And then also we get a 117 by 117 pixel logo on the map Hammerfall. Or do you think they throw it in as an extra to over-deliver?
No, it has to be part of the... I mean, it's probably when they offer the package of sponsorship, they'll offer, and your logo will be part of every map that we have on our tournament. It has to be something like that.
It's pretty good. I think we should get more ads in games in general. I think it's great.
Like visual ads like that? Yes. That's fine.
Video ads. Like video ads, you're playing like a horror game and then suddenly Carl's Jr. ads with burgers.
Exactly. 30-second break to watch an ad in the middle of like your panda, like he's just TPs on top of your army. Oh, 30-second break.
You want to do a free you want to do a free reload? Watch some ads.
Yeah. Well, I have not paid attention to the build at all, but it looks very standard.
Yeah, very standard.
Wait.
This full wall.
Are you using reforged graphics? Like the old Blade Master icon looks weird.
No, it's a hero skin actually that you can have when you play.
Is it sponsored by New TV?
No, it's when you have the collector's edition, and it only works outside of W3 Champions, so it keeps reverting to this when I launch via Battle.net.
Okay. See, speaking of ads, do you think we're gonna have ads on units? Like they'll have like a Amazon over their body.
Like football jersey.
Yeah, exactly. Like
so.
Blade Master runs around with like a Amazon Prime T-shirt.
I hope so. Dude, there's logos everywhere. Can you focus on the lesson?
Okay.
Okay, this is really sick. Gonna pause it for a second here. I teach you something about the creep mechanics. This Hydra just wants to see the world burn.
Okay. Twitch chat.
He's been coded. Like, did you say like Twitch chat?
Go on, focus.
Okay, yeah, focus. So he has a poison that lasts like 5 seconds on a unit, and it also slows the unit.
Right.
The poison does more damage on a unit because it lasts longer. On a hero, it only lasts 1. His AI directive is spit at everyone until everyone has been spat on and is currently in a state of being poisoned.
Okay.
His attack speed is also about maybe 1.5 seconds. That means that whatever unit I send in first draws proximity aggro and will get spit on. It will then be poisoned, and then he will be forced to switch target to another target.
Right.
Which will be the next proximity target, whoever's nearest. So we want to make sure that that's our image 1, image 2. Image is coded as a hero, so it will also have a short poisoned duration.
Okay.
By the time he spits on the second Blade Master, the other blade is already unpoisoned.
And he will take the next.
He's therefore again a valid target for poison. We basically want our grunt never to become the poison target, because when that happens, because the poison doesn't just do damage a lot on grunt, more than on a hero, which means it's more expensive to heal solve up eventually. There's also an effect, this is true for all creeps. Any unit that is slowed by an effect, either an auto attack modifier like this poison spit, or a spellcast slow like the little mud golem, all creeps will focus that unit over anyone else.
Okay.
So if we let the grunt get spat on,
he will also get focused.
He will be slowed for 5. Yeah, he'll be slowed for 5 seconds. He's going to get focused. Even if then the Hydra switches back to Blade, the grunt will still be slowed for 4 seconds because it lasts like 5. And then the creeps, I told you the creeps have to focus a slow target, right? So they're already doing that when they're focusing grunt. Even though the Blade is now also slowed, that means he takes an equal position on slow priority targeting.
Yeah.
They won't switch so long as the grunt is still slowed. Once he's finally unslowed, they will switch to the blades again. So what we're going to do is... Go ahead.
And even if you use the tricks to like this aggro, by like, let's say I attack my own units, they would still focus him, or?
Yes, that's the problem. So you're like trying to fix it, but it gets unfixed because the aggro takes precedence over everything, but only during the time that they are aggroing on PvP.
Okay.
And because you only do it for a second usually to do the momentary switch, which is usually enough, they will only listen to the override for a second, and then they'll go back to their normal state of being, which is I'll focus whatever is near, except if there's a further unit that's slowed.
Right. Is does he have a cooldown on the spit, or is every attack a spit?
Every attack is a spit. It's a modifier, not a spell.
But and since you're saying that the mirror image will only have the spit for 1 second, it cannot be that you cannot make it that he's constantly spitting on him over and over again.
Yes, because maybe he spits. His second spit is faster than the slow and spit timeout.
Okay.
Yeah, good point. Good point. True.
Can you hold just 1 second? 1 second, quickly.
Yep. Yep. A bit of lore. Grubby just learned this tech a few weeks ago on accident. Yeah, true. So, OnlyFangs cleared BWL 2 weeks after first trying it and getting DDoSed. Some people got their characters reinstated. Soda did his final raid today, and they cleared it today with only 2 deaths. That's nice. So
nice.
It's over finally then.
Frodo.
Are you gonna
Insert
join
Frodo
OnlyFangs season 3? Are you gonna join OnlyFangs season 3, Viper?
That sounds like a heavy time sink for someone who's still, in quotes, a professional gamer or a professional competitor.
True.
So I think it's unlikely. But it sounds and seemed like you guys had a lot of fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It does kind of take over your life.
Yeah, and
unsurprisingly.
I think it's a bad combination for someone who's trying to stay competitive in an RTS and also just recently become a dad.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Yeah, okay.
She doesn't have to play. Oh, no. Okay. So image first, and then make sure Blade is the next one in. And the nearest. Okay, you see the concept? He keeps spitting left, right, left, right.
Just so the grunt
even
never
though
gets
grunt is
hit.
attacking something. Yeah.
So you essentially want to surround the Hydra with your mirror and your blade.
Yeah. Just make sure they're nearest.
Yeah.
But this is a much better way of creeping than if we did it otherwise. Now you shouldn't be able to contest this. And in fact, it's awkward to play in Orc Mirror to go to over the halfway point, because you'll probably meet them if they did the same camp as you. And we only have image, so we're not actually in a very good skirmishing state. Like if we meet Farseer, we can't even windwalk and shake him off.
Yeah.
This is another interesting camp. This Null Warden does a purge, which is a slow. And what did you just learn about slows?
That they are the ones that are being targeted.
Yeah. So if I send Grunt in first, he's going to get targeted. If I send Image in first, the Purge does a Dispel, therefore 200 damage. And Mirror Images take bonus damage, so it's not just 200, it's probably 400. So insta-death. Either way, we got to do it. So just get anyone purged.
And then, okay, so in this case, it might be better to just let your Blade Master tank and then just resummon.
I think so.
How often does he purge?
Every 5 seconds.
Okay.
Retarget aggro because the troll was attacking Grunt. Okay, we're soon gonna heal solve. I know that chat helped you learn that.
Yes.
Yeah. Heal solve, mirror image are bad combo. We might as well scout with it. Meanwhile, we're gonna check this camp. We're gonna check this camp, and then we're gonna look at the logo, maybe buy some products from them, and then check their base.
But our scouting at the moment is to see which creeps he has camped, and then potentially get a view on his base.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, we're already going for it. This one isn't that strong though, right?
Yeah, super easy. We can take almost any camp on the map. I'll show you a harder camp.
Go for the red one. What was that like when you said almost? Okay.
That's a little bit too much. We'll go for the second hardest camp on the map. Maybe this is third hardest. Okay, so the Troll Warlord is a little lich. He doesn't like targeting Blade over Grunt ever, but for some reason he'll target TC or Shadow over Grunt.
Okay, makes sense. Not.
Makes no sense at all, but it is what it is.
Yep.
I did forget third burrow, but it is not back-breaking because you have exactly enough with 3 Grunt to make a second hero. It's just safer to build it.
Is your second hero here going to be the Panda or the Shadow Hunter?
Shadow.
Okay.
Blade is tank DPS, Shadow is healer CC. You see how the troll is attacking Grunt? Even though I opened aggro and I switch aggro, he's always going to go to Grunt, so you can't fix it. Build buildings in the back, so they're a bit harder to cancel.
No, Bestiary and Voodoo. No, Totem, right?
Totem, yep. Burrows a little bit spread out.
And we're fine taking some grunt damage here because we are going to use healing salves.
Yeah, but there's also no other way because Troll Warlord is a little lich. Okay, show you another creeping technique. You may already know this, I'm not sure.
We're about to find out. It's where you pull it out and you kill it away.
Yes, and he doesn't spellcast. He will travel about this far, the rock golem, then he will go home. And when he's on homewards trajectory, he will never cast spells. And halfway back, you can re-intercept. He will turn around and fight, but won't cast any spells. So no stun golems.
So he only casts when he's standing like back to his original spot.
Yes, if he reassumes original, he will regain spellcasting ability.
Okay.
But on the homewards trajectory, if you intercept him, he won't.
That's useful.
Very useful. Okay, so ideal here if you want to min-max.
Pull the Blade Master away, yeah. Do you ever use mana abilities with the Shadow Hunter on creeps? I mean, healing here you did, but do you ever hex?
Yes, this heal wave first. Sorry, I'm setting a bad example. I'm doing it because I know I'm going to get level 2.
Right.
Otherwise, I would never heal here. You have to have hex for engagements.
Okay.
And to answer that part of your question, yes. For particular camps that are hard enough, you want to hex the Inner Fire Troll Priest.
Okay. That's the one that is level 4?
Yes.
Okay.
The level 4. I like going 2 walkers because they do insanely good DPS.
Okay.
19 damage, doubled on grunts.
Okay.
Here I might hex the Sasquatch if it's solo Shadow 3 grunts and Blade is somewhere in La La Land.
Okay, what's the reason here you just used your blade to tank and not mirror? Is it just that it's easy or?
It's faster and I'm on the halfway point.
Okay.
So the chance of getting caught is much higher than usual. So sending Blade away means I take more total damage. I take more total time. He's the best tank I have.
Yeah.
Image tanks less well. I could have imaged tanked here, but I still had an image and I used it to scout so that I know that for the next 5 seconds I'm not getting creep jacked. I don't know if you remember that the residual image, I sent it over here.
Yeah. And you have a speed scroll in case you end up in trouble anyway.
2 speed scrolls.
2 even. That's not horrible at all.
Not at all. So once we're level 3, we have to separate and solo creep shadow this.
Guys, can you believe it? Grubby forgot the class with Blade Master.
I had no space, and I needed to make sure that I don't steal XP.
Fair. So in Orc, go on.
Yeah, without Windwalk, it's very hard to justify sending Blade to harass enemies. So you're just playing like an easier version where Blade always is with army.
Okay. Let's just put this game as an example. I opened like this, but my opponent went Windwalk, and he comes to interfere with my creeping. How do I respond to that?
Dust.
Dust. Okay. And that I can buy only from the shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna get a dust. Then you speed scroll. You hex him. Then you ensnare him, and then you surround on the ensnare. Then you wait until the ensnare is done. 3 seconds on a hero. Hex again. Cool fact about hexed blades that are wind walked: they lose phased movement
Okay,
during
okay.
hex.
And if he starts messing with me from the start, from the get-go, I have level 1 win mirror image
That's terrible.
for him.
For you, it's very bad for you.
So isn't
If,
then
if
Windwalk
he's
a
harassing
counter?
you, what's that?
Isn't Windwalk then a counter to a mirror image?
Oh, can you repeat what you were saying?
So let's say game has started, I'm going mirror image, he's going Blade Master with Windwalk. He just goes straight across the map and starts messing with my creep.
Yeah. Then, what's the question?
You said it's terrible for me.
Yes, because you have mirror image first, so you have no nuance to your opening.
Hence, my question is, isn't then Windwalk kind of a blind counter to mirror image?
Yes.
Okay.
But you're still going to be level 1.5. You're just going to feel kind of useless, and I'm going to show you what to do in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
So altar, Great Hall, remember? Do you remember the hard buildings that I told you about? Hard edge buildings?
War Mill, Burrow, and was the altar the last one?
Trees.
Trees. Yeah, trees.
Yeah. So altar is allowed to touch Great Hall,
Mm-hmm.
and it will be a hero opening. Let's call them hero openings or peon openings.
Mm-hmm.
Burrow touching Great Hall is a peon opening.
Right.
So we're doing that on purpose. So we do a full wall off on one side, and a one hero opening on the other.
Mm-hmm. But here, if I build Tauren from the inside, I can pass between the altar, right?
Yeah, hero opening is equal to Grunt, Headhunter, Kodo, Tauren.
Okay.
Okay, so if he shows up with a Windwalk, you are over here, and suddenly there'll be a Blade Master here attacking your peons.
Right.
That is very annoying and terrible.
Can
You're
confirm.
gonna at least try to finish 1 or 2 creeps. You're gonna come back, and then you're just gonna stand here. You're gonna build Burrow 1. You're gonna build Burrow 2, like this.
Okay.
And you will cancel them, and you will keep hitting him, and you will also click him to see, is it a naked blade? Is it a TP-less blade with a circlet?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it a TP blade with heal solve, clarity, speed scroll? Or
Right.
heal solve, clarity, whatever. You need to know his resources. If he has heal solve, clarity, he plans to spend the next 5-6 minutes here, all the way until he has mass raider, mass wyvern, mass tower, mass casters, tier 3 tech. One blade. All he's doing is cancel burrow, cancel burrow, cancel burrow, cancel burrow, hit peon, mess with your creeping, level 1, shadow comes in, starts doing the same thing, hopes you're low and weak when you're creeping, and then eventually 6 wyverns or 10 shamans and doctors and Tauren, that kind of thing. So you just kind of need to stand here. You are level 1.2, 1.4, 1.6 when he does that with 1 item, hopefully. You will have not much health missing because of image, so you're not going to lose a trait. You put 1 peon per burrow. Usually you only have the 1 burrow.
Right.
The first peon counts double. So you can actually test this.
Work complete.
Oh yeah, it's doing the same-ish.
It's the same damage. 2 in 1 does the same damage as 3 in 1.
Yeah.
So the first peon counts double. Try to spread 1 peon in each.
I never knew that's how it
rather
works, but I always did it because I've seen you do it.
Oh, cool. Nice.
But it's good to know how it works.
Then, if you drive him out the first time, let's say he leaves with 50 life, but you checked and he has heal solve clarity, then you know he's going to come back in 40 seconds. You will send your blade to the shop. You'll buy circlet and dust. Could probably sell TP.
Okay.
To afford circlet dust.
And then just come home again, or?
Yeah, then you can come home. And then he's gonna want to phase walk out, even if you block him. Like, even if you hold position a peon or a grunt, he will use wind walk to phase walk out. So then you build a war mill here to wall him off. Remember, war mills are hard buildings.
Yeah.
So you create a peon opening. So he's gonna panic, break his wind walk, and try to get out. Then you get another peon ready here. He's gonna cancel the war mill, wind walk again, try to get out, and then comes in your second wall.
Quick walls. I love this.
I knew you would.
But I mean, you're doing it with a war mill. It's 200. A burrow is 160. Is the war mill more tanky or?
Yep.
Okay.
Take a look. Look at the armor type and the HP amount.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And then the burrow is armor type bad, HP 60%.
Yeah.
So then staff is an extra tool that you can deal with extreme memers and harassers. By the way, he's attacking with demo and war mill. It doesn't make the burrow thing not true anymore. He killed this one. It was equal, I swear.
I agree. I allow it.
Okay, thank you. For small harass, you can stay here, circlet dust, and kill him like that while war mill blocking. If he's an extreme memer lamer dude, and he's like good, then you want to have Staff of Tele, so that you can go home.
Okay.
Additionally, if he is an extreme memer, and this is also true for Archmage, Bloodmage guys that do like non-stop Blizzard harass on your line, and then they like tower up at home.
Been there.
Trying to yeah, go ahead. Question?
No, I would say I've been there. I've had that happen to me.
Oh, perfect.
No, it wasn't.
No, it's not perfect. It's annoying, right?
Yes.
Usually, the way that I counter these memers, the best players can counter it with regular, which is why nobody plays that at high level. Just do the same thing you always do, but mitigate damage by good skill. But there is a way to strategically lean into a counter against these memesters that has less to do with playing the usual meta, because they are not the usual meta.
Yeah.
And I actually like strategically countering it rather than just perfect execution.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Right? Especially when trying to teach people how to play against it.
I agree with that.
That way is Large Bestiary.
Large Bestiary.
This is true for Blade. Yeah. True for Blade Master memers. And it's true for Archmage, Blizzard Harass memers, Pitlord Fire Rain memers, Bloodmage Flame Strike memers. There are a few things that are always in common. One, they are unusually good at one hero harass. Two, their skill in macro game is usually unusually low for their MMR. That's why they're doing this, or maybe because they just think it's fun and that's the only thing they trained. So you're less afraid of regular timings, regular army compositions. Three, they have a lot of towers at home, so that they are super conditioned to you spending a lot of effort trying to defend and failing in all kinds of ways, but eventually surviving, then growing a pair and getting mad and wanting revenge and going to their base without a pre-scout, and damn it, they've got 6 towers and 2 mortars.
Yep.
Yeah. So they are very used to that. They want to fight in their own base. They're like, welcome to the jungle, baby. Welcome to my darkness. That's where this comes in. You're going to go 1 Witch Doctor and then Witch Doctor training. And if you want, you can get a 2nd Witch Doctor. He comes out with enough mana to do 1 sentry and then soon another. If you get the upgrade, he can do 2 sentries. He gets better mana regen, so he can do them more often. Once you have 2, you can cover the map. Sentry will be nerfed a bit in the new patch. It won't be this big of vision anymore, which is
that's sick.
insane.
Yeah,
it's gonna be more like this big in the future. Still very good. Sentries will show Blade Masters with Windwalk. It will warn you of when they're coming to your base again for the umpteenth time. Witch Doctors, you can send them around the map. If you know he's somewhere in the bottom left, send him around the right. Then shift ward in his base. Then shift click to some area of the map. And then Control 9, Control 0, whatever. And then for the rest, Doctor's not in your group anymore.
Okay.
I mean, not part of your army. So you just kind of shift click him. And when you do that, you will see what his tech is going to be. Because that's usually the thing you don't have mental acuity to think about, since you're getting harassed all the time. Now you see, okay, double aviary. He's going mass griffins, alright?
Mm-hmm.
And this thing lasts for a very fair 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah. Sorry, my little guy is crying a bit, so I'm gonna have to run and give him a little bit of food. It will take roughly 5 minutes. If that's cool.
Take your time.
Okay, then I will be back shortly.
Okay. My little guy's crying out for food too, if you know what I mean, chat. Yeah, high five. Sorry about that. That's immature, not befitting a father. Then again, I'm not one. Is the little guy a pet or a kid? He has a kid. Grubby, what? What? I'm talking about my dog, guys. What do you mean? He's hungry. What does that even mean? You know what it means. Is he a single father? No, he's not. He does not look hungry. He is, trust me. Okay. I have a Knopf match coming up at some point in the near future. I think in half an hour I'm going to play with Knopf. And then I'll have about an hour to 1.5 hours. We're going to stress test the PTR. Do you have any more strawberries for rich people? Are you coaching Sing Sing also? Okay, I watched Sing Sing today. He was good. Look at his MMR, guys. Sing Sing is 4 win, 4 loss, 1500 MMR. He won his first 2 games on W3 Champions. Then he lost 2. Then he won and lost another 2. Damn. He was crazy good. I have heard predictions. Who is going to win? And I've believed it every time. For the following 4. When people say the Viper's going to win, of course, I'm thinking sometimes, oh no, I made a big mistake. Of course he's going to win. But then I watched Turin play. I was like, oh, I made a big mistake. He's going to win. I didn't invite a balanced pool. But then I see Tommy K play. I think, oh, he's going to win. Then I see Sing Sing play. Oh, that's the winner. So those 4 are the favorites. But then you look at Red Panda on a massive win streak as well. Didn't get any coaching. Decided to win 20 in a row. After figuring out the game and getting like, oh, let's start with 8 losses. Didn't get coaching from me. 20 wins in a row. What? Lakari, I'm actually gonna favor a bit with extra time because he's the only one that has no RTS history. So I'm gonna help him a little bit more because he needs to still learn how an RTS works besides just learning the new game. He'll get more coaching time. Then there's Tasteless, absolute legend, Brood War Pro. Not really getting the game count in multiplayer to inspire a lot of confidence right now. He is working on it. He has a different technique. He has a different coach. So I'm not seeing it here yet in terms of effort. I know his potential is quite high. Loco sounds incredibly intelligent as well. I don't know how he does that with how dumb he is. But he sounds so intelligent.
That's an interesting thing to come back to.
I just saw a chance to say something funny.
Okay. It was funny.
He's very intelligent.
Good job.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so you get the sentry in his base.
One question on the sentry wards. Yeah. They're invisible, right? He cannot kill them.
Yeah. Dust.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
They are currently 200 health and dispellable, but in the new patch are slated to be 25 health or 50. 25 or 50, but undispellable, so they have to be auto-attacked.
Okay.
Mostly they rely on not being detected, so it's not going to make a big difference.
Yeah.
Then Stasis. Blade Master comes in with Windwalk, he gets stunned, you follow up with Hex.
The Stasis is that when he walks into it, he will get paralyzed?
Yes.
Okay.
Doctors are quite strong, as you can see.
Very, very strong. I should make more of those.
Yeah. Let me know how it goes. And then the reason we go for the bestiary is because we go for lockdown. So we've got lockdown from raiders, a little bit extra from stasis, but sentry is the main purpose. And then you can just have, you have your units. You've got stasis for lockdown. You've got vision. You see him coming. This completely shits on any solo hero harass.
Right.
The next stage for AM Blood Mage is they go home and heal. They do it again. The next stage is they have Boots and Staff of Tele. You have no CC, so the Staff of Tele works. The next stage is they get Arcane Sanctum. They get a Sorceress with Invis. They send their unit across with Invis. Or they buy an item from the shop, which gives Invis. Then the next stage is they do a Zeppelin from the trees with Blood Mage, Flame Strike, maybe some towers. So these two buildings deal with everything. If they Zeppelin, it's a bat. If they do Invis, Sentry, and a Snare. So this completely shits on meme.
Is it smart for me to expand as well in this situation?
Yep, exactly. Okay. How do you deal with someone with 10 towers at home? You're static. He wants to fight here. You don't give it to him. You expand. Okay, what's your follow-up unit? That's completely up to you based on what they're doing. If they are, if they're double aviary griffins,
then I make 4 bestiaries.
3 or 4. With 3, you save up at 50, about 12 to 1600 gold, and then you start spamming bats. If you see a chance, let's say he has an expo, he has 20 towers, you see a chance to save up 2k on 2 base, then you can do 4 bestiaries.
Okay.
The more gold you save up or plan to, the more production you're allowed to have, because you'll earn it back via saving up longer.
Yeah, makes sense. And the bats is hard counter to air, right?
Kind of. It does need some brain cells for use and some quick clicks, which you both have in spades, luckily. Otherwise, I wouldn't be showing you this.
Well, thank you.
We'll get to that when you start meeting mass griffins. But basically, bats kill all medium air in 1 auto attack and an explosion. For heavy air, it's double bat explosion usually. And for super heavy air like Chimera, Frostworm, you usually need like 3.
Okay. But how much population space do they take?
2.
2, okay.
So 2 bats for a griffin, equal pop, roughly equal cost, but you get XP, they don't. So it's still a good trade.
Yeah.
If you ever get to the situation where it's bat versus bat, I discovered a strange micro tech. Is that the guy that spams more in 1 versus 1 bat gets it. It's probably... Well, I'm not going to guess why. Yeah, I don't know why, because you would think that 1 command... Once you have vision, 1 command given should be either RNG or equal or better if you do 1 command and nothing else.
But that means whoever has the last click is technically the one who gets it.
It seems to suggest that, yes. What you're saying, I agree with that hypothesis. I don't know exactly how it works mechanically, but I've realized that when I do this, I'm much more likely to win the explosion war against them.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
It doesn't work on yourself.
Yeah,
so,
I figured.
Yeah. Okay.
Makes sense.
We've settled memes. We've talked about base layout against Blade Harass and a standard opener. For the rest, we have not really talked about how you play out an Orc mirror, but you kind of saw the army I went for, right?
Yeah.
Grunt, Raider, Walker, and Kodo. Kodo is your final 46 to 50 pop.
But you used your Walkers as a DPS. Is it, whenever people talk to me about Walkers, it was always like, oh yeah, Spirit Link is so strong, you need Spirit Link.
Oh yeah. It's about Spirit Link.
Okay.
And DPS.
Right.
So Walkers focus grunts plus 100% damage type.
Yeah, magic against heavy, right?
Yep. Grunts focus Raiders. Plus 50%. Normal versus medium. Raiders focus Kodos Walkers, which are unarmored, which I think is also plus 50% siege versus unarmored.
I think that's correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then, okay, army aside, heroes.
heroes. Blade Shadow. What do?
Yeah.
They kill the highest prio kill target in general. So you also have highest kill prio target in general.
Mm-hmm.
In those battles, raiders offer control, so they are by far the highest kill prio.
Mm-hmm.
But if two armies meet, and one army is here, and the other army is here, but the raiders are in the back, then you may go for something else first.
Mm-hmm.
Usually raiders are in the front, which makes them not only the most accessible, but also the most valuable kill targets.
Mm-hmm.
After you kill raiders, Kodos,
Mm-hmm.
because they're damage amp. And then usually most people go for grunt because auto attack into auto attack, but it's better to go for walkers. If you force walkers to die, then they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they save themselves with ethereal form, then they're no longer doing damage, which is also nice.
So headhunters are low priority if they're in the army.
If it's blade, it's uncommon for blade, shadow, grunt, raider, walker to also add headhunters because they're not as tanky and good at splitting damage as a grunt with link.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have control like a raider. They don't eat another fat unit 3-pop minimum
Right.
Kodo. So there's usually not a lot of space for them. It's not bad if you add them, but I usually don't see a lot of opportunity to do it and be happy with it.
Okay. I feel like
we could go on with more theory, but there's one person that says, I want to see a game now. Do we get one guy?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a game. I have tunnel vision a bit into headhunters in Orc Mirrors because someone did it against me and I just felt like I got completely wrecked, and then I ended up doing it over and over again.
Well, that's a completely different branch of play and countering that actually we haven't talked about at all yet.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of strats and counters. Against Farseer Headhunter, the best way to play Blade is to open Windwalk. But the only way that we can make that decision is if we peel on Scout, which we can. Maybe we should.
But lost that economy.
Yeah, we'll go for an 8th peon, 21 out of 21.
Right.
Do we find an orc? Or do we go ladder? But then it may not be orc mirror.
If we do ladder and we run into something else, what are you envisioning? Did I share screen and you guide, or you watch the game from bird view, or?
I am stepping a little bit away from believing in the effectiveness of live drill sergeant coaching.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah. Okay.
Unless you disagree.
I'm kind of against when people do like just, now make a walker, now make a headhunter, like, because that's just giving me orders. I'm not understanding why this is happening, right? Which in that, like in hindsight, that makes more sense than to do a game and then explain why should this do, or why should this happen, why should that happen. I can also tell I'm getting a bit tired because my words are splitting up, but I think I'm good for one more game.
We don't have to. Let's not force it. We can have another session if you want.
Yeah, we'll definitely want to have another session.
Because we've already done Pala Rifle and memes.
Mm-hmm.
We've given some direction on other things. Let's not push it too hard.
Okay. I think that's fine, yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
This was very helpful, though, especially the Pala Rifle part, and also Orc Mirror I felt quite clueless on, so I think that is going to help me a lot as well.
I'm glad.
And yeah, I would love to do another session as well.
Nice. Let's do it. It could be like Monday or Tuesday.
I think Tuesday should be good for me because Monday I have to play an AV2 tournament, but Tuesday should be very good for me. We'll talk.
Until then, I hope you meet many Paladin Rifle players.
You know what? I'm like, given how common that is and how everyone is saying it's OP and so easy to play and this and that, I have played against it extremely rarely, which surprises me.
Maybe it's not as good as people say it is.
Or most people
I don't know.
Are decent human beings and don't want to take advantage of such an OP thing.
Or people are not decent. They're ambitious and selfish, and everyone that played it is already 2k MMR.
When you put it that way. Everyone has climbed so high from ELO because it's so easy that I don't run into them anymore.
There's no one down in 11 anymore.
It makes sense. All right, follow Grubby. It was awesome.
GL.the Viper. Have a good night. It's
You
fun
as well.
sesh, and good luck.
Yeah, for sure. See you guys. Bye bye. All right, guys, that was extremely informative for me and very, very helpful. So that was awesome for me. Hopefully, you guys as well have learned a little bit and gotten some more deep insight. I mean, obviously, he's extremely knowledgeable. I know I've read some comments, especially after the T90 session, where people said he's over-explaining. I don't think so at all. I feel like for me, it's just about right, the amount of explaining and detail that I'm getting from this. I feel like I'm able to pick up most of it. Take care, guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.